Hello, and thank you for watching this short video. My um, book, Cultural Immobilities and the Virocene Mutating the Crisis, was conceived in an experimental style that suits the new mobilities paradigm. In fact, it started as a series of blog posts um, which featured on Northern Notes. This is the blog managed by the School of Sociology and Social Policy at Leeds. This post inspired the first part of a science fiction story I published on Amazon. Um, Between one form of writing for an academic audience, also a lay audience, blogging, and another, uh, writing a science fiction story, I started thinking about a more coherent argument which would appeal specifically to an academic audience. Um, and this formed into a sort of cultural political economy of mobility. So here is the key idea. Consider that COVID-19 is only one of the many pandemics. So they form a kind of episodic era of ebbing and flowing crisis. Let's call it the Virocene. So consider that COVID-19 itself and any highly infectious virus that will come after it evolves into a self-governing principle for various forms of movement, including labor or leisure, travel, technology, and so on and so forth. In other words, consider COVID-19 and any of these viruses as a kind of ontological magnet. Yes, and as these mobilities become more and more reshaped, especially by remote technologies, because this is our portal to the world, that's how we move to protect ourselves, the very order of reality begins to change. Together with this, uh, we change our perception of who we are as human beings, embodied, emotional, affective beings. So when I considered such changes as parts of the ways the world has become more interconnected, I realized that the study should not be just about COVID-19. COVID-19 is one of the many examples and things that have been happening for a while in context of entanglement of crisis. So the virus could be cast as a corollary of mismanagement of growing environmental problems. That's one version. Viruses could be used as excuses to disengage from problems faced by the less fortunate. Viruses could be an opportunity to change work patterns. Um, Viruses could be understood as threats to our yearly holidays and our leisure regimes. So basically, COVID-19 became a surface on which to map all these concerns and perceptions of crisis. And when viewed such a map of interconnected phenomena, COVID-19 became an example of a whole era, which I call the Virocene, and which coexists with and overlaps with the era we know as the Anthropocene, in which humans rule the futures of the planet. So this is not science fiction anymore, yes? It is a thesis considering how one viral crisis can trigger more crises or connect to other crises. So prompting our radical, let's say, self-assessment and assessment of our place in new orders of life. So my key argument is that the Virocene and the Anthropocene become entangled in human narrations of both crises. Um, this highlights that we experience contemporary life and its critical points as the failure of multiple ecologies. But because the end beckons us, we are also energized to produce hopeful future. So the problem becomes also um, the solution. Thank you for listening.